No, I had a roommate in my final year. After the first 2 weeks of staying with him, he pulled out a chair. He said, please sit down. I want to ask you questions. So I sat. He said, every once in a while, I see some white things moving fast in this room. I said, what are those? He said, they are angels, right? I said, yes. I said, yes. He said, when you were praying that day, I felt something. My body was shaking. He said, is that how you feel all the time? So he was interviewing me. And whether it is dramatic like that for you or not, the evidence must show. Evidence of the divine. In some shape or form. Come on, are you with me? These signs shall follow them that believe. In my name, they shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. It seems like it was a crescendo. He started with the easier one. Before he talked about speaking in tongues, he talked about casting out devils. Must be easier. If you speak in tongues, you ought to cast out devils. And listen, this is not just for show. Your world needs it. Your world needs it. I can give you example upon example. In our camp meeting 2 years ago, I was preaching a sermon like this, and suddenly the power of God hit someone in the room. And the ushers took her somewhere private. When I was done preaching, I went there. And from that young lady was a masculine voice. And the masculine voice was saying, this is not fair. This is not what we agreed. I cut a deal with the parents. I gave them power. And they gave me her. It's not fair. Okay. If you are going to cast me out, let me go and collect what I gave them. Let me go and collect what... I said, I don't know their parents. The one who sent me said, you must go. And then, as the demon was about to leave, he said, because of you, she will have children. Because of you. What I'm saying, there were 14 protocol people there. I'm not saying something that was a secret. This was a conversation people heard because of you. Now, if not for that meeting, maybe years prior or years after, some problems would have ensued and the doctor would have explanation. This is something loshis. Wake up! Your generation needs the power of God. Come on, are you listening to me? Demonstrate this power in your day. Wake up. Discover your identity. That altar with the ladder from heaven to the earth, that's your destiny. You are meant to be a courier of God's presence. The evidence of the divine. The evidence that Christ is alive is not an empty tomb. The evidence that Christ is alive is you. You should show forth the praises of him who called you out of darkness. Show it to your world. Jesus is alive and I'm proof. Jesus is alive and I'm proof. My wife had a lump in her body just before our last camp meeting. I laid hands on her, prayed on it. See, when I can share thousands of testimonies of other people, but when it hits home, it's a different thing. So we went to the hospital. It was confirmed. They referred us to a cancer hospital. So we had 4 days camp meeting. After the camp meeting, we were supposed to go to a cancer hospital. And that's why someone said, pray for your pastors. You don't know what they're going through. We're there blessing everyone, you know. And in those camp meetings, we will stay and be praying, you know. I'm talking about medically confirmed testimonies. So we went with the referral letter Long story short, the last day of the camp meeting in the morning, my wife woke up, checked, no lump. She called her dad, who was also there in the camp meeting in another hotel room, a trained medical doctor. He checked, no lump. So my wife started crying, called me. It's not there. I checked. You see, I've seen this thing many times when it's your wife. Because, you know, there's a way you are looking at God, like as other people are testifying, the pain has disappeared. In that camp meeting, at least 7 people had growth disappear. And I'm looking at God like, and then it disappeared. So the next day, we didn't see anything. That's the thing. We're intelligent people, we're educated. Sometimes some people think that, church people just whimsically make up this stuff. We went to the hospital. And I sat there. I wish I recorded it, but of course he was examining my wife, so I couldn't. So the doctor checked. He checked. After a while, he was confused. He lifted up the report from days ago. He said, I don't understand. He said, I don't understand. Is this not your wife? I said, yes. So I asked him a question. I said, medically speaking, is this possible? He said, it's not possible. So he said, what happened? I said, well, I'll leave it to you, but we just finished camp meeting yesterday. Then the doctor said, this is a miracle. Hallelujah. Kasomborote lemokoya. Erekolitos embeleton grisute repelokis. That's how the doctor will be amazed when that fibroid disappears. Etelemo kopos varasu sepelia katas. Gunskis kaski velekort atriske felet. Dakatung krisepe. Arazuzu ziza. Endoleme nekoria. I remember a lady it happened to. I'm just saying this for the benefit of someone here. Just give me a few minutes, okay? A miracle is happening here. I laid hands on the lady. She had fibroid the size of a cup. So because of that fibroid, they hastened their marriage plans. And then they put their honeymoon in India so that after honeymoon, they go for operation. But before, just like 1 week before the wedding, they came for this camp meeting. I laid hands on her, and she went for a routine check in the same hospital. The doctor checked. She said, I can't see anything. So she was even irritated. She was not a person of high faith. And said, what do you mean you can't see anything? The doctor said, are you trying to teach me my job? Turned the monitor, and she looked at it, nothing. And what was supposed to be a medical trip turned to pure honeymoon. I prophesy in the name of Jesus, you will spend your money on better things. In the name of Jesus. For that couple that has been waiting for a miracle, I prophesy as one sent of God and anointed. Kasuria kapai kundere kapate. Enkonsu peleri kitalia. Razuzus and Dakatoriki talundere menons kefai. Receive your testimony now. In the mighty name of Jesus.